bicycle proved critical to the outcome of the Vietnamese War with the French and later against the United States. This was the largest military bicycle transport feat in history. It was done with some 60,000 tough bicycle pushing men and women. In 1964, a Vietnamese pushed one of these bicycles, more commonly referred to as iron horses, the full length of the Ho Chi Minh Trail, carrying a load of 924 pounds for over 1,000 miles. Hello, Wei. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for being able to do this interview, talking about the bicycle, history of the bicycle in Vietnam from the Vietnam, well actually prior to the Vietnam War up until current time. So if you could, give us a little background as to who you are, your passion, and why you're doing this.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm Huệ Lê. I'm the owner and founder of this cycling and coffee club. I'm a local. I love very much cycling, and that's one of the reasons why I opened this cycling club, in order to share my cycling passion with the people, and also to honor the past, to celebrate the present, and to empower the future of the women in cycling, particularly Vietnamese women and local women from Da Nang.
And can you, because I find this incredibly interesting, especially with what you've done with this bike and the history and all that wonderful work that you've done on the wall. Can you tell us a lot of this interesting aspects in the history about the bike during the war, or what was used during the war, both with the French and the Americans, please?
Yes. The bicycle, obviously we all know that the bicycle one of the widest used and the most effective military vehicle. And one of the reasons, because it's very quiet, very silent, and it's very practical, particularly it's a great transport in the jungle transport. So in the 1954, when the Vietnamese victory over the French at Dien Bien Phu, we found the people that we used the bicycle as the main transport to carry on the supplies from the north to up to the northwest of Vietnam and northeast Dien Bien Phu. So we, at recording history, that there was 19,000 of the porter carried the bicycle modified like this, with 500 pounds of the rice and whatever they need. So obviously, you can see this is the bicycle is modified by me, but at that time, like every porter, they carry each of them at least 300 or 200 kilo per bike, with the weapon, to the uniform, the rice, the lamb, sandal, and almost everything they need for daily life and the war. So early 1960, when the history repeat itself during the U.S. involvement in Vietnam, the north of Vietnam, they ideally use the bicycle as the main transport to carry on the supplies and the goods from the north of Vietnam to the south Vietnam through Ho Chi Minh Trail. So you can see on the map, the Ho Chi Minh Trail is beginning nearby Hanoi through the Ninh Bình and go along to the jungle. I mean, through almost everywhere in the central of Vietnam and the central highland, Đắk Lắk, Kon Tum, Ba Mê, further down to the south, Củ Chi Tunnel and Ho Chi Minh, Saigon at that time. So the total distance of the Ho Chi Minh Trail is 1,000 miles, and you can imagine, like, with just only the human power, pedal power, patience, and the Vietnam won the war by the patient and just by the supply by the bicycle. So obviously we see that the bicycle play a really important part for Vietnamese victories in the history in the wartime.
So then what was the next period after the war? Can you elaborate just a little bit on what that period was and what Vietnam was going through at that point in time relative to the bicycle?
Yes, sure. I mean, after the country reunions in 1975 until late of 1986, we call the period of time we call thời bao cấp, which is the period the countries closed the door just right after the wars. Everything is trade, everything distributed by the coupon. the good wasn't trade in the market, and even the salary they pay by the coupon. So, like people work together and share the same amount of the things together. And for example, every month, the end of the day, they receive of the coupon 500 gram of the coupon of the meat, or coupon of the rice, coupon of the bicycle, and everything is distributed by the coupon. And obviously, the role of the bicycle is still very important to Vietnamese. It's like the main transport for us at that point, until 1995, as the tipping point when the first U.S. President Bill Clinton came to Vietnam. So at that point, we opened the door to the world. We trade with the neighborhood country like Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and so on. So everything import at that point. We had nothing in the country. We import the almost everything from China, from Russia, including the bicycle or the motorbike. So the motorbike slowly replaced the bicycle in Vietnam daily life. So from 1995 until now, we see time it changes. The people see more and more the motorbike in Vietnam than the bicycle. But obviously, the bicycle is still used very practical and affordable for a lot of Vietnamese people, particularly for the student, for a working family, working class family, for a farmer. If you see more in the countryside like Mekong Delta or Hội An or Da Nang, people almost like ride bicycle everywhere, not motorbike as you see in the big city like Hanoi or Saigon.
So then, given that, and having spent a lot of time here, is seeing the advent and the dramatic increase of motorbikes here in Vietnam. For you and your business and your passion, where would you like to see the motorbike, or not the motorbike, excuse me, where would you like to see the bicycle in the next 10 years?
Good question. So I think for Vietnamese, as I mentioned, the bicycle is about history, the traditional and lifestyle. For many Vietnamese people, the bicycle is a strong link and connect with their daily life currently with the past. So I believe that even in the next 10 years or next 20 years, there will be more the car in Vietnam instead of the motorbike. But the bicycle is nothing will be replaced the role of the bicycle to the Vietnamese people, because for many reasons, as we said, practical, affordable, economically speaking, but it's also now, I can give you an example. This is the future I can see in next 10 years with the role of the bicycle in Vietnam. Is that many young Vietnamese people, like me, we travel from the north of the country to the south, from south to north by bicycle, because we believe that's the best way to enjoy, to learn more about the Vietnam, learn more about the country, but the best way to enjoy life, enjoy everything through the two wheels. So what I for my passion and what I really see is, I hope I can see is more a Vietnamese woman will be more active, will be more on the cycling, traveling by cycling, and will be more and more the people that use the bicycle as the physical activity, physical practical, and yes, so I believe that is what I hope, what I really want to see.
Well, I'd like to thank you once again for this opportunity. It's very special, as well as your passion that you have for cycling is also very special. And with that, I'd there again, thank you, and I'd like to wish you a happy Lunar New Year, a little after ours, but nonetheless, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving me this great opportunity to talk about the role of the bicycle in Vietnam, and I also wish you a very happy Lunar New Year. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So even today, these iron horses continue to carry heavy loads, as demonstrated here by one of the recycle ladies. And the new continue to blend with the old.